Hey, Craig's Coastal. Hey, Randall. Hey, Dale. Afternoon, guys. I'm trying to get out here before the wind picks up so I can get a video in. Uh, we're kind of exploring a little bit today. Uh, we've had spring-like weather here, so I'm kind of over here on their spring pattern. Where I'm at, right where the rods are, this is one of the old roads that used to go to the other side of the lake before this lake was built. So I've got a road bed that comes out, and I've got coves on both sides. Both creeks that feed this lake come in over here on this side. So this is a big shallow flat. And in the spring, when the catfish spawn and stuff, they really pull up in here and stage. So I'm kind of over here testing the waters to see if they're in here yet. Uh, I have seen a bunch of fish breaking the top of the water already. Uh, I'm keeping my eye out for bait fish. If I can get some shad or something up here close, I'm going to break out the new cast net and try to catch some fresh bait. I am using cut shad for bait. Uh, I want to get a hold of some bluegill. I really like this spot because, like I say, this road that used to go through here, they just left everything. And when they left everything, uh, the bridges and stuff are still under the water, concrete bridges. And then big flatheads and big blues like to get up under those bridges. And I'd like to get a hold of some Patriot James floats and throw some live bluegill out here because I know there are flathead that travel through here a lot. And during the spring, when they pull up in here in these shallow flats to spawn, it's a great chance to catch them. There's also another slough back to the, oh, there went a fish, uh, back to the north of me that comes up in there off the lake, off of another flat right where the creeks dump in. It's a real good spot. I've always had good luck here, uh, especially during the early spring. It's shallow. Uh, it's probably about 3 to 4 miles wide through here. It's just a shallow flat where they love to spawn. And these fish are breaking water all around. I'm not sure what they are, but they're in here for a reason. So hopefully I'll get some fresh shad. You never know unless you go, guys. And I know this spot is going to be turning on. So I'm just kind of testing the waters, uh, seeing what's coming in and seeing if they're here yet. Today's my first day to actually try the Santee Cooper rig on one of my rods. I've never fished the Santee Cooper rig before in this lake. I've always fished Carolina rigs, but I've got one that's got the Santee Cooper rig on it, and we're going to try it out. I ordered a bunch of stuff in, guys. Uh, I brought it with me so I can show y'all some of the tackle and stuff that I'm using, and show you things that I found that I liked and things that I didn't like. First of all, guys, uh, catfishing, you always need good bait knives. So I went and I've seen some Rapala fillet knives that had the sharpener in the sheath with them, kind of come together. So I decided to order two. Uh, the knives for bait may be excellent. They've got a protective tip on them where you don't poke yourself. It's a really nice fillet knife. It'll be great for a bait knife. It's got the sharpener right in the tip of the sheath, ceramic sharpener. The only thing I do not like about these knives is when you put it in the sheath, it's really loose. It does not fit snug. And so it'd be very easy for this to fall out. I would have liked it a lot better if the sheath would have been a tighter fit. Broke down and ordered me some peg floats uh, from Amazon and try the Santee Cooper Rig. And I got the slotted peg floats here. We're going to try them out and see how they work. Like I say, I've never tried the Santee Cooper Rig before today, and I'm going to try it just to see if it makes any difference at all. And I got two different style floats because I like to use big pieces of bait. Hey, Catfish Cameron, and I'm not sure how much this float will support, but so far I think these are going to work great. I've got a 4-ounce sinker, no roll sinker out there that I threw out, and I'm in shallow water, and it seems like this 2.5-inch peg float is floating that sinker a little bit. So definitely floating the beta. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I see the Demon Dragon style floats that everyone's been using and trying. So I figured if I was going to do a Santee Cooper rig with live bait, I'm going to try some of these Demon Dragon style rattles. Uh, these here I got from Uncle Lou's Tackle. Great guy. Uh, they're really nice, and you can see it's got his name, Uncle Lou's, on the bottom of it. I don't know if y'all can see that. Uh, I was really, really impressed with the stuff I got from Uncle Lou's. I also got these oval peg floats from Uncle Lou's. Guys, if you're needing peg floats, hooks, stuff like that, check out Uncle Lou's Tackle on Facebook. He really has great prices, and so far I'm really impressed with everything. Hey, TX Tiger, I ordered me some hooks in also. Uh, I got some of the Gamakatsu 8/0 to try out. I've never used the Gamakatsu hooks before, but I also ordered some 9/0 and 10/0 hooks from Uncle Lou. And guys, I'm telling you, these 10/0 hooks are big. I was really, really impressed with them. They are going to be great for live bluegill, or if you use suckers and stuff like that. A lot of people do. Live bait, these 10/0 are going to be phenomenal. Uh, I would definitely check out Uncle Lou's Tackle. Hey, Dave. Hey, Georgia. But Uncle Lou's, I was really, really impressed. I got the 10/0, the 9/0 both, and his hooks have such a wider gap than the ones you can buy at Walmart and stuff like that. Even the ones I've ordered online so far. So far, out of all the hooks that I've ordered, uh, I like these Uncle Lou's hooks the best so far. We're gonna try them out, see what happens, especially with live bait. Finally broke down and bought me a scale, guys. Uh, yeah, the big float. That's why I went with the longer, smaller float here right now, Tiger, because I'm not fishing real deep water. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it, see what happens, just try it out. But I never did wave fish in my other live videos. But since I'm going to do this, I went ahead and ordered me a digital scale. This one's from Cast King, 110 pounds. It's got a big hook on the back, and it also folds back up and stays out of the way. I'm going to try this out and see how it works. I was looking at them, and I know a lot of guys were having trouble with the whisker seeker scales not locking in real easy. So that's one reason I went with these instead of whisker seeker, just to try them and see what happens. So I'll let y'all know how the scales work. Then the other stuff I ordered, I just ordered me some new line. This is the line I use, guys. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's a Berkley Big Game Trilene. It's the 40-pound main line. It's in the high vis green. And then on my leaders, I've got 60-pound Berkley Big Game. That's kind of a moss green. So it's a little bit lighter. So I get the high visibility at the reels where I need it and at the water. And I use the darker color line to kind of blend in. This lake is really muddy. It stays that way. So that green has done me real good. Berkley Big Game is all I use anymore, guys. I'm very passionate about my fishing, and I don't want to lose one. Hey, fishing frustration. I don't want to lose one because of a line failure or something. I know a lot of guys swear by the Andy and stuff, but I've never used the Andy yet. I may try it eventually, but you know the old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And this Berkley Big Game has really, really performed well. I knocked my camera over. Now I got to get y'all resituated. I need to figure out some way to create a shade over this camera. Hey, Johnny, JNS. It's hard for me to see the comments and stuff because there's so much sun out here. But that's what we're doing. We're up here where these fish spawn at. And we're going to try this shallow flat today for a while. And if they don't bite here, I'll move somewhere else. But I wanted to come over and try it. When them fish start pulling up into these spawning flats like this, it's better to be early than it is to show up late. If you're here after the fish have already moved in and started spawning, a lot of them are going to get caught out of here. I know the wind's going to change directions on us today. It's out of the southwest. It's supposed to end up switching to the north, and it's going to increase as the day goes on. So I'm going to fish here as long as I can. When the wind gets bad, we'll pick up and make a move. Hey, Donald, how are you? But I really wanted to try this spot out. I was hoping my wife would come out with me today because she'll fish with red worms and stink bait and other baits. Where I'm strictly, I fish with shad, I fish with bluegill, live and cut bait mainly. It's nice to have someone that fishes with you that fishes different baits, because you can see what they're hitting, what they're not. You can try all different levels of water range depth, and kind of helps you pinpoint the fish easier. What I've done where this road comes out here, it's shallow on that road and it drops off both sides, and probably 4 to 6 foot deep. than its deepest. As you go farther out, deepest water you're going to find over here is probably 12 foot. These fish are jumping right behind me. But hopefully we'll catch some traveling through here. I really like fishing this road bed. Usually the fish will be on one side or the other, but I have caught them coming over the top of that road bed where they're transitioning from one side to the other and feeding up on top of that road bed. Over here, good hard bottom, got a lot of gravel, sand, and they seem to really like this area. This particular flat here, right here where I'm at, it's probably a mile wide and goes probably 4 to 5 miles. You have to be careful if you come fishing here, the spot that I'm at. If you bring a boat back here trying to get up in this creek, where the creeks come in, a lot of people like to go up there, but there's a lot of accidents because there's a levee through there, and there's only a break in that levee in a couple of spots. And if you don't know where that break's at, I've seen guys come flying through there and their boat's wide open, and it'll run them aground, and the water changes drastically. And I've seen it launch them plumb out of their boats. So you have to be careful around here, guys. I'm not sure what this fish is. It's hitting the top of the water all around me. Uh, I don't know if it's carp, drum, striper, crappie. I don't know. I can see them hitting. I'm waiting to see if I see some shad hitting the top. If I see shad in here, I'm gonna break that cast net out. I had to order me a new cast net because I just broke the other new one and got it in. I really like using fresh bait down here, guys. Fresh shad seems to be the key here because it's the natural forage fish in this lake. It's gonna be nice, even though the wind's gonna blow. We've had temperatures up in the high 70s for quite a while. We had 2 days of rain, and it's brought this lake up a little. And I really figure it's going to start triggering this spring pattern. And anytime I'm expecting them fish to start moving up in here. There's definitely fish over here. I don't know if the catfish are here or not, but there's definitely fish over here because they're breaking the top of the water. I bet if my wife was here with her red worms, uh, she could have her a time right now catching whatever this is. Red worms do work, guys. There's times out on this lake, uh, I've seen it to where that's all they would bite. Hey, Bald Eagle, how's it going? Glad to see all you UK guys dropping in and visiting. Hopefully, we can get some fish for y'all. If I don't do any good here, I'll move to another spot. But we got beautiful weather, and this is where the fish come up in the spring to spawn. You'll also catch them here in the summer, pulling up in the shallows to feed, especially at night. I figured we'd come give it a try just to see what happens. That's part of fishing, guys. Don't be afraid to experiment, move around, and try different spots. If we sit here and nothing's biting, I'll pack everything up and I'll move to another spot. There's active fish feeding somewhere. You just got to find them. I'm always excited when I fish, especially this body of water, because I know it has really, really large catfish in it. And anytime that rod goes over, it may be a 2-pound catfish or it may be a 100-pound catfish. You just never know. Looks like somebody's jug line has drifted up on this road bed, and looks like they drove a metal rod out there in the water, which is actually illegal on this body of water. You can tie to existing stumps and stuff, but they do not want you tying off into the water. Almost looks like they went out there and drove that stake in the ground and run a trot line both directions. You do have a lot of people that use jug lines in this lake, and guys that put out trot lines. Uh, their restrictions are pretty strict on them. Uh, they watch them, and if you go 24 hours without checking that jug or that trot line, they will take them out of the water. You've got to have your name and address and stuff on them. They will track you down and fine you. Get a lot of people that come out and they spend the weekend and stuff. And they'll put trot lines or jug lines out. And when they're ready to leave, they just leave and leave their stuff in the water. Guys, don't do that. Don't leave jugs and trot lines in the water. When you're done fishing, pull them up. That stuff gets in people's crops on their boat. You have fish that get hooked and end up dying on the trot lines and stuff. Uh, there's no need to do that, guys. Respect the other anglers, respect the water, and respect the fish. All right, Johnny. That's what I'm doing. Trying to get some video. Supposed to be doing the drywall and the hardwood floors in the new house we're building. And it's been so nice yesterday and today. But yesterday we had about 21-mile-an-hour wind, but the temperatures were warm. Uh, I decided I was going to try and come fish. I haven't got to fish in a while because I've been busy and working on that house. So I'm playing hooky today from the house and come out here. Sun's out. It feels great out here. I may play hooky from the house tomorrow too. You just never know. Definitely want to get some video out. Definitely want to catch some more fish. They don't have to be big fish, guys. I can come out here and catch 20 to 30 smaller fish and have the time of my life. Every one of them don't have to be 40 pounds. I enjoy catching fish. Doesn't matter their size. It's it's a battle figuring out where they're at, what they're feeding on, and finding the active fish. If you do that and you're catching fish, uh, no matter what anybody says, you've had a successful day, guys. Almost sounded like some shad were flopping behind me. See some ducks back there. The shallow water here, it's real nice. It heats up a lot faster, and A lot of your fish will pull up in here quick. Anytime there's warm weather, 60s and 70s, it starts heating that water up, and you'll see me fishing these shallow flats. Hey, Valerie, how are you? Guys, I'm sorry if I missed anybody coming in. I'm kind of watching these lines and watching for bait. I'd really like to get a hold of some fresh bait. There's definitely fish over here. I just don't know what species. I know some of them are carp. There went one right there by the bank. He wasn't 2 foot off the bank. Big old swirl. I bet that's either a carp, a drum, or a big alligator gar up in here. He made a heck of a wave. I know a lot of them guys use carp for bait, cut bait. I never have, but I may eventually end up catching some of these carp in the cast net. If I do, I may keep one and try it for cut bait and see how it works. It's an absolutely beautiful day out here today, guys. So far, the wind's not up. You just got just enough breeze to where it's not too hot. But I bet it's already up in the 70s. Texas Tiger, uh, I'm on Eureka Lake. I'm over by where the creeks, Little Beaver and Big Beaver Creek, feed this lake. I'm over by where they dump into the lake at. It's a big, shallow flat that they like to spawn in, and the creeks come in straight out from it. And there's another shallow flat back in there, uh, and then there's a small creek that comes back behind me. It's called Collins Slough. Uh, it's a really good spot when the fish start spawning, also, especially for the crappie, because it has got tons of stumps and stuff in it, and them crappie really pull up in there tight to that cover. And with it being off the main lake like that, uh, the wind and stuff does not affect them. Guys, I appreciate y'all sharing links out. Uh, my live streams are always open, guys. I like to see the links shared out, get the word out for other people, kind of spread the love, help everyone grow. I think it helps tremendously. I try and support everybody I can. Hey, Michael Simpson from Scotland. Welcome. Hey, Epic, thanks for stopping in. As you can tell, my weather's a lot nicer than yours. Uh, we've had beautiful weather, a couple of days of rain, but we've had real warm temperatures. So I'm kind of over here where the creeks feed into this body of water at Epic, and it's a big, shallow flat, and they love to spawn up in here. So I come over here to see if them fish are starting to move up in here yet, the catfish. There are carp and stuff jumping. I've seen them, but I'm really after the catfish. I'm really excited because I know it's just a matter of time. Them catfish start pulling up in here. Uh, Flatheads are going to be moving around. This is a very exciting time of the year for me. Everything's just starting to come to life. Hey, Paul, what was it? Puddle walkers, welcome. I'm glad to see everybody in here. I'm out enjoying the day instead of working on the house. So I see lots of fish activity. They're all over up in this shallow water. I've seen them as far as 2 feet from the bank. They're up in here tight and close. So we're going to wait them out and see what happens. Kind of got these rods fanned out. I've got 2 over on this side and 2 over on this side. I've got cut shad on all 4 of them. Been trying to catch some bluegill. I really want to come out here and try them live bluegill. Because like I say, the concrete bridges that are underwater here, them big blues and them big flatheads love to get up under them bridges. And I love to catch them. To me, I really don't care what size flathead it is. Any flathead that you catch is a good flathead. They fight uh, so hard and are so exciting to catch. If you ever catch a flathead, the rest of your fishing days you'll spend chasing that next flathead. It's very, very addicting. All right, Epic, enjoy the game. It's definitely warming up. Keep waiting to see if I see any fish flash the top of the water. So peaceful out here, guys. You can see I'm out here and not too windy. The waves are just slowly rolling in, and you don't see a boat or another person for as far as the eye can see. Very, very calm out here. These ducks are going at it in the toe back to behind me, trying to watch them see if they're catching fish. Hey, big country. Glad you stopped in. We're going to give it about another 30 minutes, guys. That'll be a good hour here in this spot. If we don't have any bites in an hour, I'm going to pack up and I'll go find another spot. We'll go live again. A day like today, these fish should be feeding. We should have some action. especially in the shallow water. This time of year, the shallow water really comes to life. The bait pulls up in there, and then the fish pull up in there chasing the bait. With everything jumping and hitting the top of the water over here, I really figured we'd already have a bite by now. What size does the flathead get to? Around here, uh, you can catch them 70 and 80 pounds. Uh, they get big. The blue cat in this particular lake I'm at, I know they get over 100 pounds in this lake. We also have creeks that in the springtime, when it floods, the fish will come up out of the river into those creeks, and you can go catch a ton of your big catfish that come up out of Red River, and it's a lot of fun. Great job sharing the links out, guys. I really like it. Keep sharing links. Uh, makes it easier to find each other. I know I'm picking up and watching a lot of the. Hey, Larry, I'm picking up and watching a lot of the guys from the UK, and it's pretty neat. I like watching them because I don't usually see the fish and stuff that they catch, and like their bait, like the ragworm and stuff. Man, I never seen one before, so to me, it's a learning experience. It's neat. I love watching them. You know, we don't have rays and stuff here to fish for like they do. And I think their fish are kind of seasonal. They come through at certain times of the year. You know, here it's different. You can fish almost all year round here and catch fish. You don't plan on doing any videos, Georgia? I think I found the spider Mecca. There are tons of these little bitty tiny spiders right here. They're on the camera, they're on me, on the fishing rods. Big country, I'm using shad. I've got cut shad out. Uh, I've been seeing some fish working up close to the bank. I'm waiting to see if I see any shad start flashing. That was a carp or a bass right there. They're really close to the bank. I'm gonna break out my cast net and start throwing and see if I can catch me some fresh shad. If I don't catch fresh shad, if I catch a carp, we're gonna try him for bait also. I've never used carp before, but I know Chunky and DMV and Has and Fishing Magician and TBA and all them up in DC. I know they've used it and had good success with it. Uh, Also, Fins and Fowl. He had tried it out on Texoma Lake and let me know the other day that the cut carp did work down there on Texoma. So I'm not too far from Texoma. So if it works down there, it'll probably work here. There are tons of carp in this lake. Randall, I like watching them for their accents, and I go in there and I'll catch them live and stuff, and I ask questions because I'm curious. Uh, their whole style of fishing is new to me. Uh, like local marks, some of the places local marks fishes, uh, he's got to pay attention to the tide. Uh, the water will come up and cut them off from land, and can be very, very dangerous. And that's like a lot of the fish. They'll be shallow flats that they're fishing too. It's kind of like the sand and the gravel that I got here. But as that tide comes up, I learned that the crabs and stuff pull up on there, and it may have been dry an hour before, and as that water comes up, the crabs and stuff come up, and the fish come up there feeding on them. So I'm learning. I don't always have to understand every word they're saying to keep me watching and keep me entertained. Fishing is kind of a universal language, guys. Fishing is fishing. We may have different techniques, different tackle, different baits, and fish different waters and stuff, but fishing is fishing. Uh, you can learn from watching just about anybody. And there may be stuff you see that works on other bodies of water and stuff that you can take and try in yours. Uh, like I say, today's the first time I've ever thrown a Santee Cooper rig. Uh, I always fish a Carolina rig, but I tried the Santee Cooper rig out today. Don't be afraid to try new things, guys. Hey, UK fishing. Yeah, I like watching the guys from the UK. Our time schedules are kind of haywire, and they're either up late at night and early in the morning watching us, or we're up late watching them. It's still great stuff, though, guys. I love watching them. It's a lot of fun. It's like I'm trying to figure out all the fish. I know I've heard them talk about hounds. I've heard them talk about the rays, the dogfish. Most of their fish, I have no idea what it is. Some of them talk about eel. Uh, so anytime I see one of these guys catch a fish and of any species over there, it's something new for me. It's a new experience, and I really like watching it. Man, there are a ton of ducks on this shallow flat over here. I've got them behind me. I've got them all out in front of me. There's ducks for as far as I can see floating on that water. Liverpool, England. I'm an Oklahoma redneck, bald eagle. I'm down here in Oklahoma. I'm just no country boy. I'm not far from the Texas state line. I'm just north of Texas. I know I would love to see these fish get fired up. Just because you wake up early and get all excited and get out to the water early doesn't mean the fish are going to be awake and ready to bite. Sometimes it takes a while. I've sat in spots, guys, for 2.5 hours and never had a bite, and moved just a little bit, and the fish be on fire over there. So don't be afraid to move and try different areas. I think it's awesome that the fishing community reaches out. We've got Pete's from Whiskers from South Africa. Uh, got people from Scotland, people from the UK. Uh, it's really growing and expanding, and I love to see that. And I love to see everybody supporting each other. I mean, we have a lot of the US guys in the UK channels. We have a lot of the UK guys in the US channels, and I really like it. And when I get home and I go over this footage, uh, I'll go through and I'll pick out some of the guys from the UK and make them moderators on my channel. So, guys, if you come in next time and you see you're a moderator on my channel, don't be surprised. Alligator Gars, Michael Simpson. Uh, yes, we have alligator gars here. Uh, they get very big. They're a very aggressive fish. If you're light complected, white skinned, uh, and you're in the water, sometimes you get mistaken for shad, which is the bait fish, and they will bite you. They wreak havoc on your bait while you're catfishing. You'll see the gar because he'll just load the rod up, but he never gets the hook because they've got a real long, narrow beak that's just full of teeth. A lot of guys that fish for them when they're trying to catch them, they'll take a rope or something with no hook and just throw that rope out there. And when that fish bites that rope, his teeth get tangled in it, and he can't come off, and they just reel him in. Yeah, Michael, I understand. I got fat fingers too. I can't hardly text or anything on my phone. My laptop's got that stupid touchpad and stuff, and I can't work that thing either. I plug a computer mouse into the side of it where I can navigate and use it. My hands are heavy, and you'll double click stuff you didn't even mean to click on. And dinosaur fish, you have fishing frustrations, they're definitely something else. With all the carp and stuff up in here moving around and swimming and busting the top of the water, you'd think there'd be some catfish in here also. But that's how it works even in the creeks, guys. When the creeks flood, you'll always see the carp and stuff move in first. And then after the carp, the catfish will start coming in. We get good rains and stuff here. This spot that I'm fishing will actually be underwater. I'll have to fish another 40 to 50 yards back up to the road. I won't even be able to get down here. All this will be underwater, and there's lots of grass and stuff up in here. So when it floods, then fish will pull up into this grass, eating all the bugs and feeding real heavy. It makes it hard because you get snagged a lot, but in the grass. But the fish are in here hot and heavy, and anytime them creeks are flowing in here, crawdads and earthworms, redworms are really good bait. Yeah, big country, definitely check them out. I'm gonna give it about another 8 minutes, guys, and then I'm gonna pack up and go to a different spot. I will be back live. It may take me an hour or so to find another spot and get set up, but I definitely will come back live. There's definitely carp and stuff that are active over here, but we've had baits in the water for almost an hour. There went a fish right there, and nothing. So I am going to throw my cast net before I leave over here, though, and see if there's any shad or anything up in here. I'll take that shad to the next spot. I love using fresh bait. Yeah, Valerie, uh, Louisiana has lots of fish, and they not only have fish, they have alligators, and it's pretty wild down there. Lots of fresh seafood. All right, guys, it's been an hour. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen here. I'm going to end the stream, load up, and go find us another fishing spot. So keep your eyes open. I will come back live, guys. And I'd like to thank everyone again for coming in. But I could sit here and talk all day long, but I want to go find fish. I want to get some fish. So give me a little bit and I'll get set back up. We'll go back at it again. Thanks, everybody.